Hi, Don. Okay, so the height of your header right here. Okay, so yeah, we'll just leave that as it is. I'll post this back up to the sandbox, but it looks like you've got it all right as it is. But the height of the header, yeah. Let's take a look at that one. Site, styles, folder, and styles.css. Just open that up. Right here, the very top, we have this header, this height right here of 200. Set it to 20. Then go down here for the minimized header right down here and set that to 20 as well. Save, and then take a look at your page. Just refresh it. See how it tightens up? If you set it to 0, that tan bar will go away altogether. Okay. Now for your Numo and your other components and that, I can't do anything with a webinar. I can't show you on your computer what to do. But what we can do is get them installed for you. These things here will show up. These are placeholders. You have to have that installed to your server first before you can even start working on them. Okay, and what we can do here is I'll show you sort of where to get started, and we can help you get those installed, and then I'll show you where the instructions are. Okay, so the first thing we need to do with those plugins, because they're server-side plugins, they're database plugins, and they need to be hosted on your web server or installed there first, and then they need to be activated. Right? And then they'll start to show up in your live site once you have your site published up to your server. But you can actually work on them on the back end in the meantime. But let me just show you where we start. First thing we need to do is go to your members page here and the license information. We need to make sure that you have the domain entered right in here. Okay, the plugins need to know what URL or what website it's being installed to. So the first thing you need to do is go in here or tell me the URL of your website. We hit the proceed button, we type in the domain name, and then we hit proceed again, and that's the step number 1. After we have the domain plugged in, what we're going to do is just go to the instructions page here, and we're going to click on web apps right here, and then we're just going to hit install Numo, and we're going to get everything installed up to the server. I'm going to send you a little snippet of code that you can send to your web host. Basically it says, hey, I'm installing an application to my website that needs a database. Can you please create a database, install it for me, and provide the following information: the database name, username, and password. It's in the ticket. They'll do that for you. They'll fill in the blanks, send it back to you, you send it to me, and then we can go ahead and help you get it installed, because all we do is we hit the install button, plug that information into the system, and it gets it all installed for you. Okay. Once it's installed, you can actually view the instructions right here as well. There's your blog instructions, your form wizard, your calendar, and your shopping cart. All of them right here, right? So if we go to shopping cart, actually a better option is actually plugin instructions. Right here, there we go. There's the shopping cart. Sorry, I confused me on that one. Right, there's all the instructions on how to work with the shopping cart, but it needs to be installed first. Okay, so I'm going to send you a little pre-made email code, block of information, or a pre-made email that you can just copy and paste and send off to your web host. Get them to install a database. Get them to fill out the information for me, and we'll get that installed for you. And then all these things here, your shopping cart, your calendar, your form wizard, and your blog, you all work on those through your web browser online, okay, and get them all set up. And then this stuff here, that placeholder code, will be replaced with a login box, right? And the login box will be for, what do we need a login box for? Actually, maybe you don't even need a login box. That could be optional, because your shopping cart, you don't need one. Calendar, you don't need one. Form wizard, you don't need one. And blog, you don't need a login box. But you'll have the pages in your site, and the dashboard will provide the snippets of code for you to create all the bits and pieces. But the instructions here, that's where I definitely recommend you just go to one of the things I definitely recommend before you even proceed with any of this stuff is put about a half hour to an hour aside, right? Log into your website, go to the instructions tab button here, right? Go to the plugin instructions, okay? I'm going to I can help with the get starting part. I can help with getting the download or installing the web plugins. Okay, but I would definitely suggest you go through the shopping cart, the calendar, the form wizard, and the blog tutorials. Get yourself a cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like, and just sit down and watch them so you get an idea how everything works. And once you get in there, it's kind of like working with you know, an iPad or an iPhone. It's all sort of wizard-driven, wizard-based, so it's not overly complicated once you sort of understand where you're supposed to, what you're supposed to do, and where you're supposed to get to. So we just have to get it installed for you, and that's all.